Because there's a lot of guys now having the back surgery or having back issues. That's pretty much, as a bowler, that's the number one major issue that we have. And quite often they get the surgery, but then they bowl the same technique, or they get a back injury, then they go back and do the same technique. It's interesting how you had to literally teach yourself different. Is it more front on now?
Yeah,
rather than side on, and did you do that yourself, or did you work with the Western Australian guys? How do you go about changing the action?
So it was a long process, even pre-surgery. So I tried multiple things over multiple years. So it was, first of all, cutting the load back in terms of dropping 4-day cricket, because that was putting a lot of extra stress on the body, and then did everything I could to get fitter and stronger than I already was. We also looked at a little action tweak at that stage. But then post-surgery in 2019, so Matt Mason, who's now working with the England women's team, he came on as the bowling coach for Western Australia. And I'd never met him before. And we sat down and had a chat. And he said, I know you've just had surgery and you're not thinking about bowling yet, but I've got some thoughts for you when you're ready. And I was thinking, all right, yep, I've never met you and you want to talk me through this. But when I was in a place to actually hear something as opposed to just dismiss everything at that stage, we sat down, had a good chat, watched through some bowling footage, and it became apparent that, what I was doing was causing a lot of issues in my back. And it wasn't the fact that I needed to be stronger or like fitter or all these sort of other things. There was an alignment issue between
a mixed action.
More just so that when I ran in and rotated, I'd then find myself having to basically fight myself and find a way to get back the other way.
Right.
So if you watch it in fast, or if I watched my action in fast motion, there wasn't really much you'd pick up. But when you slow it down and you sort of see that I'm splaying my front foot a little bit towards the right-hander's fine leg, and then I'm trying to get, obviously, the ball roughly towards off stump. So I'm then fighting myself to get back. So I'm pulling my arm across my body, twisting my back in a way that's not conducive. It made a lot of sense. So these initial conversations I had with Mace just sort of developed over weeks, over months. And then once I was able to start bowling and moving again, I was like, well, what have I got to lose? I've just had the surgery. I've been sort of in and out of the game for the last 4 or 5 years. If it doesn't work, that's fine. I'll go back to bowling the other way and go and see how we go. But it was a case of, well, I'm going to try it. I'm going to buy into it. And I feel like it's worked reasonably well.
Well, you played for Australia there, Jason, so I think it has worked
okay.
pretty good.
Oh, that's the ball. That's the ball. Up goes the finger. First wicket for Australia for Behrendorff. Right, that's up in the air. It's taken. Has it gone off the pad? Is there an inside? And up goes the finger. What an over. Now up goes the finger. One more goes. Right, he's timed that. It's up in the air, though. It is an outstanding catch by David Warner.